In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to use primitive solids on Cubotech Key Creator. Doing this, I will be using the create a block as well as create a cylinder and trim solid curves tool as well as the X-Form faces tool. As you can see on the current screen is the finished drawing. This is a modified slide block dovetail. The dovetail is often used in woodworking as a joint and making cabinets. So I'm going to create this for you in this video. So file new. I'd like to change my background so it's blue so I have something to work with. Okay. So we're going to do create a block 6 by 3 by 2. Okay, key in at 0 0 0 and I want it zoomed in, so I'm going to use that tool on the side. View 7 isometric. Now to begin, I'm going to start by using the trim solid curves tool on the right side of the drawing, so make sure you set your views and C-planes to the correct side. I'm going to use the line parallel distance, and it is 0.75, and from the left and right side, and 0.25 from the bottom. Then I'm going to use modified trim first to trim up these lines. So I'm left with this rectangle, which I will now cut out of the block. So now you go to modify advanced trim solid curves. Okay, select all 3 trimming curves, accept, select the body, and we're going to go to the left. Now you can go to the front view, and we're going to do the same thing except just change up the dimensions a little bit. I'm going to change my color so I can see a little bit better. Create line parallel distance, and we're going to go 1 for this, and we're going to go from the left and the right side and up 0.5. We're going to use the same modified trim first. To get those 3 trimming lines that we want. I'm going to escape from there. Modify trim solid curves. Okay, select the 3 trimming lines. Accept. Select the body and to the left again. So now we are left with this has 2 cutouts, and we're going to do 1 more, and we're going to go back to the right side for this one. So make sure you have the right C-plane and view. Create line parallel distance 0.5. We're going to go 0.5 from the left and right as well as from the top. Modify trim first. We're going to get the trimming curves once again. Trim solid curves. Okay. 3 trimming lines. Accept. Solid body, and to the left again. So now we are left with this block. Everything's cut out. Now we just have to modify it. So to start, I'm going to go back to the right side, and I'm going to use the modify faces, X-Form faces tool, rotate by angle 30 degrees, and we're going to select the faces that we want to create the dovetail out of. So I'm going to select this face, accept the back end and the front end, and then you're going to click done, and that's complete. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, so make sure you're on the select faces to X-Form, accept, and we're going to do the first end then the second end, done. And you can clean up these lines after you're through with them. Now we're going to go to the left side, and we're going to do the same thing. So X-form faces, rotate by angle 30 degrees, solid face, accept, the back end and the front end, done. Back up, select the face, accept, the front end and the back end, done. And you can go in your right view to check that they're both an equal cut. And then we are going to go back to the front view to change up under the block. So we're going to use the Create Solid Blend tool, face-to-face blends, radius 0.5, OK. And we're going to select this face and the bottom face, and on the other side same thing. And that's just going to give you a real nice curve, make the block look nice and smooth. So now we're going to delete those trimming lines that we made earlier. So we're going to use the Delete Multiple tool, and you can just click on these lines real quick. So now that's all cleaned up. So we're going to go to the top view, top sequence, and now we're going to set it up to create the cylinders so we can make 3 holes on the top, just like in the picture I showed earlier, which is, here's the finish, 3 holes at the top, diameter 0.5. So we're going to do that on this block now. So I'm going to use the create line, line vertical, and we're going to make sure you get the midpoint of the face, the correct face, and we're going to go back up, create line, line parallel distance, and 1, and from that center line that we just drew. And we're going to use a horizontal line now and put one across. So now we set up the spots where we need the cylinders to be made. So we're going to go create primitive cylinder, major radius 0.25, and we're going to use the intersect tool and click on the 3 intersections. Now right now these are on the face, so you can't subtract these from the actual block as they are not in the block. So we're going to use the modify or create, and we're going to extrude the cylinders to the bottom of the block. So we're going to go 1 here, and you're just going to click on the solid edge on each of them and extrude them down. And now, as you can see, the cylinders are flush with the bottom of the block. So now we are going to use the modify subtract tool. So we're subtracting the cylinders from the solid block, and we have to subtract the cylinders. So make sure you subtract all 6 cylinders. And now you're left with 3 holes in the drawing, just like in the finished product. 3 straight through holes with a radius of 0.25, and we're just going to clean this up. So we're going to delete multiple, delete those lines, and it's easier to see it in isometric view. And now to clean it up, we're going to use chamfer edges. We're going to do 0.25 on each edge. Accept. Now those are all done, and we left a couple trimming lines here, so we're going to delete these. click the correct lines. And that is the block all finished. Now for those who like to dimension it, go to right view, right C-plane, use the detail, dimension horizontally, and we're just going to dimension some of these edges. Now we'll change the color later as they don't really fit with the background. So we're just going to get the main dimensions, just like I did in this. Just going to get the main ones. Now we're going to go to the front view and do the same thing. Those are really all the ones you need for this. Now we're going to go to isometric view, and we're going to change the color of these dimensions, so we're going to click on each one. And we're going to go with yellow for the color that shows up pretty well. And if you would like, you could use the generic move tool to adjust your dimensions. I like to make them really neat. And that is the finished slide block with Dovetail tool.